Oh man. Well, all the avenues are taking a little extra longer to load right now. It's unusual, but this is why we always do this first. You say anything on X yet?
Mm-mm.
Nothing. All right, try it now.
Yep.
All right, there we go. All right, here we go. In five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Guarded, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we are getting ready for fall camp, fall ball. The pads are popping tomorrow, Q. The things are getting going, and Q, it's exciting. It's an exciting time. 30 days away, 29 if you're listening to the Welcome Home Podcast on Apple and Spotify, the official voice of South Carolina on the Believe Network. And look, guys, the pads are popping. Shane had his presser today, which shout out to Coach Beamer for joining us on the podcast. The last episode, it was a great, fun interview. We had a blast. So shout out to him for that.
Go check it out too.
Yeah,
Go check it out.
Go check it out. It is still out there live, and go check out the show, the Welcome Home Podcast, the official voice of the Gamecocks on the Believe Network. So a lot of fun that we had, Q. A lot of fun we had with that. Gamecock basketball. They are set to go to the Bahamas. They are leaving today, I believe, to head out to that. And then men's soccer, women's soccer, they're all starting up too. Exhibitions are getting going. So a lot of things to talk about. But Q, let's start off with the Bahamas, Q. That's one of my favorite trips that the Gamecocks went on back in Lamont's best season yet, man, in 2024. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
No, 23. Was it 23?
It was 20.
Yeah, 23 was his
23.
best season. Let's talk about it. So, for one, update, everybody's here. All the players that are going to play on this year's team have made their way to Columbia. So, all international players are in. And as we told you before, the international flavor that he's chosen to take is a new style, in my opinion, that you guys have not seen. I think it fits Lamont's system better, personally. And I think it will catch a lot of people off guard as well. Because when you're talking about Lamont Paris and how he wants to spread you out. He wants to spread you out. He does want to attack the basket, but he definitely wants to spread you out. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to defend. Cam talked about that. Cam Hyde from Texas talked about that, saying defensively we're really good. That's a staple in his system. So you're not going to do much on offense if you're not doing anything on defense. So I think this will be good for them. Win, lose, or draw, the more games you got, the better your team can be. It's better to lose games before it counts. It's way better to lose games before it counts. I don't care if they don't win a single game here. As long as they are improving, I am 110% okay with this. And that's just something that we know. Like FG, when it comes to women's basketball, the women can lose anytime during the season because usually they're going on a streak where we don't know if they're going to lose a game or not. But the biggest thing about them is usually when Dawn takes her losses, it's usually SEC tournament time or in SEC play. Maybe a non-conference if UConn's on there or someone tough on there like UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take your losses where you can afford to take them. Dawn built that in so she can afford to take the losses. She challenges her teams, knows where she can take her losses. Because if you notice, she's been to the national title game back-to-back years. And she's poised to go to another one. And so the men are trying to get these international trips in because you're allowed to go international now for, before the season. And so now they're getting their international play in. Get better, get more acquainted as a team, get some basketball play going, and you go from there, bro. And I'm excited about that. So it sucks. I think Marcus Johnson is hurt. I don't know how much he'll play. But other than that, we got players, and we get to see a little bit of what this team's going to do. So I'm thoroughly excited to see how that plays out, what that looks like, what we're able to do, who establishes themselves as, I can be the go-to scorer, or I'm going to be the go-to rebounder, or I'm going to be X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, and that's more of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it, man, the staff obviously Kerry Rich raged about how well the Bahamas trip got this team ready, right? Got them right for that season that they had, and a spectacular season that it was, man. I mean, the Gamecocks only almost won the SEC the regular season that year, right? It came down to what, the Tennessee game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
You had
Bound for first place.
Yeah,
because you end up, and what's crazy is we ended up winning. I think the last game was Mississippi State. Like the game after that was like Mississippi State or something like that.
Yeah,
and we ended up winning that game, and that really helped out a lot, honestly.
No, it did. It did. It was a fun season though, man. That was a very, very fun season that year. So
100%.
Bahamas trip means a lot. That off season play means a lot. I know fans look at it, they're like, they play in a ballroom, all these other things. I'm like, just hold off on that. Hold off on that. It means more than you think. It means more than you think. The men's soccer program, the women's soccer program, all start getting off here this weekend. Actually, this into the upcoming week, as both squads have exhibitions as they get the season started. I actually got to go to the media day. I was invited by the women's soccer program, which was really, really cool. This past week for me to come out there and cover the media day, and it was really good, man. Really, really good. I mean, Coach Shelly Smith has a lot of great things going, so I think this is going to be a great team, great seasonal leadership, and taking it to the men's side of things. That's a whole different roster. There's leadership there, don't get me wrong, but that is a whole new roster, kind of like with Lamont. Our international players are a big thing, obviously, in soccer, but maybe even a bigger thing this year. A lot of different names have come in, and a lot of names have come in late, too, which it's interesting. Normally, you have guys that have been with the program for about a couple weeks now. There are still some names that have flown in over the last week or so. So keep an eye out on that. I will be out there they're playing NC State, the men's team exhibition at Stone Stadium. That is a free event to go to at 6:00 on Saturday night. So if you get out there, obviously do it. It's a tremendous atmosphere. It's great to be out there, and honestly, you get out there before all the students are in town. So enjoy yourself in Columbia a little bit, man. Have a good day down there in the 803 and check a soccer game out before you end the night, man. It's not a bad way of doing it, man. Not a bad way. So a lot of that going on. The baseball queue, it's over with. I mean, as far as transfer portal and everything else, Kevin Schnall has got his guys. There may be maybe another name or so, considering with this whole new NCAA rule that popped out. I don't know. I mean, there could be maybe another name that pops in. I'm not sure yet. I mean, that's something to maybe monitor there, right? Something to maybe monitor.
I mean, it's one of those things with baseball. You kind of just got to see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm more intrigued and in tune with trying to figure out, what our pitching is going to look like. Because, I feel like we have good infield. I think we got everything there. It's just that pitching I'm curious about.
It's going to be definitely interesting for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting. Now, Q, let's go ahead and we're going to take it into football. Before we start out, though, with college football, I do want to talk NFL ball real quick. Because there are a couple of names in the NFL that some Gamecocks, maybe some fans forgot where they landed, that could play a pivotal role in their second year in the NFL. One of them I want to bring up is Rocket Sanders. Rocket Sanders is vying for RB2 right now behind Quinshon Judkins, maybe even battling as RB1. It just depends on how training camp goes. But Rocket Sanders showed the Cleveland Browns a lot of good stuff last year, with minimum time, by the way, that he showed. But still, he's up for an RB2 position with the Cleveland Browns. So that is something to watch. Gage Larvadain, same thing. Gage Larvadain is something to watch also with Cleveland. He's out there in Cleveland. So another thing for year two. And year one, Jalen Kilgore hype is getting pretty big, pretty quick. It's getting pretty big pretty quick. As C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he dropped. He got hurt, I believe, and he now has more playing time, getting more burn right now. But he's going against the ones right now. The 1s and 2s in Buffalo. So that's something to keep an eye out on. That's something to keep an eye out on. So A lot of good things happening there. J.D. Clowney back in Houston, back in Houston where it all started for him.
Also, Tonka Hemingway is getting a lot of headlines too out there in Vegas.
Yes,
a lot of people are talking about that. He's running with the ones, if I'm not mistaken, and he's getting a lot of burn right now. So I think Tonka's due for a season. I think with his rookie year last year, I think he needed to work himself into it, but I think he's next up. I'm looking forward to seeing what TJ Sanders is able to do as well. Beamer mentioned that earlier today.
You did.
4 of the 5 defensive linemen are in the league. So, I mean, you got to watch what I'm looking forward to see what Cal Kennard's able to do. Last year he battled injury, but this year, let's see what he's got.
Yeah. Kyle, it's more of a concerning note with Kyle, with depth chart wise, because, LA didn't waste any time to bring in more guys from, for the defensive line. So it's something to watch there. He needs to catch on quick. I will say that. I do want to talk about Xavier Legette. Q, you and I have talked about his offseason work that he was going into this year. We knew that he was going to partner with Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco in the offseason and some other different camps, different opportunities, different ways to get better to evolve his game. And he's even lost some weight, Q. He's even lost some weight, slimmed down a little bit. He's cutting routes a little bit stronger right now. He is battling a concussion, so he's not going to play tonight in the Pro Football Hall of Fame game.
I thought he got cleared of that. I thought he got cleared.
I think he might still be doubtful on that. But
I know he wasn't going to play today, but because he's just one of the starters. But
yeah.
I thought he got cleared of his concussion, so I'm hoping he did. That'd be really worried about him.
Yeah. He came down hard a little bit. But Chris Brazzell, supposed to compete with Xavier for playing times out for the season, the wide receiver out of Tennessee. So, I mean, Xavier's got an opportunity, and this opportunity is there for him, and he better grab it and take it and run with it because this opportunity is there for him. So, I'm excited to see what Xavier can do this year to really show the league, hey, I'm still Xavier Legette. I'm still a former first-round pick for a reason, right?
It's a fact.
Rico Dowdle. Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, can't forget about him. Can't forget about Rico Dowdle. He was a great running back with the Dallas Cowboys. Carolina Panthers obviously had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Could he do it again? I would not be surprised. It just depends on how.
I'm surprised they didn't sign him. I'm really surprised Carolina really let that one fumble because Rico really kept him in the game for them to even be in the playoffs if we're keeping it $150.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with that. It came down to Chuba Hubbard, his contract, and then, of course, to Jonathan Brooks, the running back from Texas. I mean, he's supposed to be the next best thing. I mean, he had an ACL tear last year, took him out for the season. So I'm interested to see what Rico can do in Pittsburgh. I don't get me wrong. I would love to send Rico in Carolina Blue, but for another season. But it is what it is at that point, It's just one of those things. As far as other headlines, I think it's about Michael Goodwine was released recently. He's battling other teams, right, or with other teams trying to get more tryouts done. I can see him getting more. I mean, Goodwine was solid at South Carolina. And Brian Thomas Jr., there's 2 Brian Thomas Jr.'s in Jacksonville, and both are lining up right now. But BTJ from South Carolina, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for him. He could be playing for vying for some serious playing time out there in Jacksonville, a UDFA that could potentially find himself on the 53, just like Bam Martin Scott did at Carolina, man. Just like Bam Martin Scott did at the Carolina Panthers. So a lot of great headlines around the NFL. Deebo Samuel back in San Francisco. Probably good for him. Considering he did just open a major restaurant in Arizona, I believe. He has a new restaurant out there in Arizona, Deebo Samuel. So congratulations to Deebo for keeping it going. I mean, I don't understand how you couldn't. But that's really it, man. A lot of guys in the league, and we'll see what they're going to do from now on. Now, Q, obviously we've got Gamecock football, and it's been busy, man. A lot of busy things have been happening. Obviously, we had Shane Beamer on last week. Well, like I said again, he gave some great stuff. Unfortunately, his mic was shorting out a little bit. I hate it. Yeah, I hate it, but it is what it is. We'll get Shane on after the season. We'll get him in. We'll have great conversations and talk more about that. But he had his presser today. A couple tidbits, and obviously, Q, a lot of things that we've been saying for a while. This one's first. Peak and Dylan and Peak are going to be at practice tomorrow. Not going full go, right? But they're still
They're
on
good.
pace the way they need to
They're
be.
on. They're. I checked today. They are on
Mhm.
pace. I'm still eyeing Peak to play week 1. It will be a few snaps here and there, and just get him cohesive with the offensive line.
Mhm.
I think he's going to play majority of his time week 3, but I do think he'll be in there week 1 and week 2 to get some reps in. I genuinely think we'll see Dylan week 3. If I'm being 110% honest, I don't need to see Dylan week 1 or week 2. I'm going to be real with you. There's nothing that Dylan needs to show, to prove, to anything that is needed for week 1 or week 2. This is a great time for Julian Walker, Anthony Addison, Caleb Herring, George Wilson. This is a great opportunity for Dodd, for Dodd, for the kid from Georgia that came from the recruiting class last year. I mean, there's just so much. There's so many different people that can play. I want to see everybody else. I know what Dylan's able to do. Dylan's going to get his. You want him as healthy as possible. I believe week 3, that's when we'll see Dylan.
I don't disagree. I could see resting Dylan those first few games. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. If you need to play Dylan against Kent State and the other squad,
we got problems. We got problems.
Yeah. We got major issues there.
Way bigger issues.
Other injury updates. Obviously, Josiah Thompson's out for the season. We all knew this coming in. Jackson Rep out for the season, wide receiver.
I hate that too, man. I like Rep a lot. He's a hard worker. He's a hard worker. I like him a lot. So hopefully, get him rested up. Let him hit rehab pretty hard, and then we go from there.
And then Josh Smith. He's also out as well for now. Now there's things that, I mean, it's talking season, as Shane was talking about, as old coach would say. They said summer workouts went really well into where we're at now, so a lot of good things there. As far as additions, Q, that we've talked about too, about former players. Obviously, somebody put out, hey, I don't see so and so coming back after being a free agent, but they could. The option's there. Shane basically said today, I mean, what we've got right now is probably what we're gonna have. He doesn't anticipate anybody else coming back from last year's team or anywhere else to join the team. He did say never say never rule anything out, but he said at this moment, for where he sees
there's too much red tape. There's way too much red tape right now. The only people I see making it work is what Indiana's doing, which is these are guys that left our team and they're just coming back. That 110%. I mean, that's easier to justify in any court. That's going to be hard for the NCAA to say no, especially when that ruling has already came down. Like that within itself is what makes sense. But people who hit the portal as hard as we did, I mean, we kind of don't have the space or the ruling. I can't remember if Markel Goodwine is a 2022 person. He may be. If he is, that's someone I could see them being like, I love depth at the line, like Trench's depth will always be welcome back here. I can't see Shane turning that away. Beyond that, I really don't know. FG, I really can't think of anyone because like Markel doesn't have a team right now. So if that means he could come back for another year, I mean, that would spark a lot of interest in my opinion.
I think Markel was a fifth-year senior, I believe, 21. Yeah, so he's out.
Okay, so he was 21. Okay, but that was the only one I could think of in my mind. It was the only one I could have thought of. Like, okay, yeah, he makes sense. Come on through.
Yeah, I agree. If people brought up Brian Thomas Jr., I'm like, you work your rear end off to get a UDFA, and now you're on the UDFA, and you're possibly going to crack a 53 or even practice squad. Which, do you guys know what they pay practice squad players these days? It's a lot. It's good money. It's good money. It's good benefits. It's good money. So, That ship has been sailed. Don't even try to bring that up. So that's that on that topic. Shane said that this year, this summer, they purposely made things harder. Said he was trying to develop more physical toughness, develop more leadership, which there were situations obviously we saw in fourth quarters last year that we lacked thereof. And to hear that it's a it's a breath of fresh air because quite frankly, look, say what you want about Coach Beamer, say what you want to say about his in game, late game, handles and handling and whatnot. I mean, I understand it can be tough with late game management. However, you just brought in, like I said, and I've said this many, many times, multiple Power Four coaches from across the league, from across the college football landscape. And that's not said enough. And that's what blows my mind. This has never been done once again at South Carolina before. It never has. You can look it up. It's never been done.
As I stated before, and I'll say it again, I cannot emphasize enough. I'm going to say this one more time. I cannot, will not, shall not, must not emphasize this enough of how important it was that Shane Beamer married his OC with his O-line coach. I cannot emphasize how important that is. Stats don't lie. Men lie, women lie, facts don't.
Yep.
The fact of the matter is this. Anytime Randy Clements has had an offensive line under his tutelage, that he is the OC, that he's the O-line coach, you are running for over 200 yards every single time. You are averaging 200 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah.
When Randy Clements is the offensive line coach, you are passing for over 250 every single game.
This is true.
I'm not the best at math. I'm not. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say over 400 yards per game is what Randy usually attributes his O-line to. Now, I went back and watched the North Carolina game against us where Nicky made his debut. After, I think it was R.J. Roger got hurt and Nicky came in.
Yeah.
I think that was that game.
It was.
And we really couldn't get to the quarterback. Like at all.
No, we could not.
Struggled pretty bad at that. And that team actually wasn't bad on the defensive line that year. But we struggled. We struggled bad. And so with that being said, I'm intrigued to see, what he's able to do with this. Because a couple things that we have that O-line doesn't have. A bona fide draft pick with peak. Another one that I don't know why no one's talking about in Poku. I don't know why. I cannot emphasize enough how important Poku is. You have an up-and-coming draft pick in Shed Surratt. There's 3 guys for a fact that'll be on the offensive line that will be drafted at some point in their futures. I wouldn't count out Carter Miller to not be drafted. I think he runs this type of offense very well coming from UCF, but he also has multiple years left, so
it does.
That matters a lot.
It does.
Ginormously. And you still haven't talked about Darius Gray. You still haven't talked about other guys. And we'll run deep into these things, but what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is a lot of people are worried about what happens at the starting 5. What about them? Well, this year, guys, there's a reason why there's 27 offensive linemen on that depth chart. If I'm being very honest with you. There's a reason why there's 22, 23 defensive linemen on the depth chart. I'm letting you know you have to, the numbers don't lie. There's a reason why we have so many or so much depth in the DB room as well. If you're making a run at a championship, if you're making a run in this league, you're going to have depth and reliable depth. And that's something that we have this year.
Yeah, and a lot of people they want to live in the past. They're like, the depth's not there. I'm like, I don't know if you've actually opened up the depth chart or paid attention to what we've done in the off season. I mean, that just blows my mind that you even want to even say that, which is just crazy to me. Which Q said we will talk about the depth chart here in the upcoming episodes, of the Welcome Home podcast, to get you ready for the season as we do position previews and whatnot. But Q, you brought up a point just now about rewatching the UNC game, which you elaborated to Shane Beamer last when we recorded the last episode with him, right, with our interview with Coach Beamer, and he even hinted like, yeah, I mean, we look at this film. I mean, when I went against him, right, we saw this. We couldn't get past this offensive line.
Couldn't do it.
And,
And they had a 5'11" guard. They had a 5'11" guard on that offensive line.
They
had a 5'11" guard, bro. I just want the record to reflect. When they say height isn't his focal point, they're not lying about that. Because they had a 5'11" guard, and he was literally manhandling our D tackles. Yeah. So yeah, there was that. Some of which who played in the 2024 season as well. Just so we're clear. Like, I want y'all to be understandably clear what this man was able to do. So I do want y'all to get that through your mind. Like, marrying your OC with your O-line coach meant something. And I mean, Stan Drayton speaks for himself. His resume alone speaks for itself. Like, Stan Drayton is who he is. His running back was the highest paid running back in National Football history for like a day or two. I think a day in Bijan. I think you got to understand Stan knows what he's doing, and Stan's going to have that running back room ready. That's something that we haven't had as a run game. I mean, you know the coaches we've had before Stan Drayton. That it was pathetic.
Yeah.
So
not great.
So now you just have to do that, and with practice starting tomorrow, you guys got to understand we're hitting the ground running, and we're hitting it pretty hard. So let's see how this bad boy plays out first. Let's see.
Yeah, it's funny, man. If we talk about that defensive line that the Gamecocks had in that game, or just defense alone, it was Nick Barrett, Alex Huntley, Tonka, TJ, Tyreek Johnson, JT Gear, Terrell Dawkins, and the linebackers, Jordan Strawn, Brian Thomas Jr., and then Desmond Ayumi, Zulu, Stone, Debo. I mean, all those guys, right? I mean, just crazy. Just crazy how that offensive line performed. Which, I mean, you got to remember, man, like, those guys were stout, man. They were stout. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this offensive line looks like with Coach Clements. It's gonna be really, really strong stuff to see, and just the depth we have is just crazy, man, compared to where we were before.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean, just think about it, man. Just think about it.
So as long as we stay healthy, I'm looking forward to this. Stay healthy, get things done. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Beamer did talk about the 5-and-5 rule change, which is, like I said, that's new, man. That hit right after we recorded with Coach, I think, or maybe a little bit before, but
it was a little bit before Coach.
Yeah, but for the ones that don't understand how that works, people are looking like, hey, is that going to rule out early time for freshmen? Which Coach said no. He said if freshmen are ready to play, they're going to play. I mean, it's simple, nothing more than that. Like, if we got our playmakers, and I will say this, Q, when we brought Coach on and he was on the show, he brought up one name in particular on his own that we didn't even try to stir the pot with or try to stir it up, and that was Sequel Patterson.
I've said it before.
Name dropped him, everything.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Patterson has always been a prototypical slot receiver that, I mean, he does so much in small spaces. What else can you say? What else can you say? He was going to be a contributor, and now that you have the style of offense that you have, now that you brought Browse into the system, I mean, I'm going to be straightforward with you all. You're going to see the slot receiver mean something in this offense. You're going to see a typical slot receiver making plays, doing what they need to do, and Patterson is the next guy. Him, Mazio, and Jaden Sellers are like, that's what you look for in wide receivers that are in the slot. You got to be able to take a hit. You gotta be able to take a hit,
Yep.
and those guys have done that and more. Jaden got his baptism late in the season, but every time he got up and he was ready to play, he was ready to do what he needed to do. So I am very intrigued to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I am too. And Shane, when he brought up the 2024 season in the presser, and even when he was, like I said during the show with us, he brought up the names, right? Bamar Scott, Debo Williams, obviously D Knight, and you look at it like this, right? What you have returned this year: Justin O, Fred J.R. Johnson, and of course Sean Murphy, and that doesn't include any of the guys like Demarcus Leach or anybody else there. I mean, I can't. I personally can't wait, man. And people are like, no, we're gonna have the same issues and all this other stuff, man. I'm like, brother, the seasons, the seasons just evolve the player just about every single time. Every single time.
As I stated before, and I'll say it again, something's different about this team when you have a confident quarterback like Sellers, he's had 1 year where it was spectacular and 1 year that was completely down. Those are some of the most dangerous quarterbacks because not only has he tasted victory, but it looks better. It it's different when you're able to actually see what it looks like to get to a strong spot, and when you see what it looks like when you're so far away.
Mm.
He's had both. So
Yes, he has. And the media met Julian Walker for a lot of the guys for the first time today, which I saw Julian when he was at Dutch Fork, and he was obviously a specimen then, when you could see him on the field, but even now he's got, 6 months right with the program. That's a monster. That is a monster.
man, different. I told you before. Everybody gonna have their opportunity. You're gonna get your time. What you do with it means everything. Everyone's gonna have their
It's true.
opportunity. What you gonna
That's
do with
true.
it means everything.
It's true, and don't forget a lot of people that, and maybe they don't know, and maybe they've forgotten. But I mean, with Julian Walker, I mean, his father is on staff at South Carolina Strength and Conditioning Program.
It's a fact. That's a fact.
Like these things, these little things, they matter. They matter. I promise you, they do.
Uh, That's a fact. That's a fact. So, like I said, practice starts tomorrow. We'll get some things going, and we'll have the updates for you and all that. And so I'm looking forward to it. But practice 1 is cool, but I'm ready for practice 21.
Mm,
Practice 17 when we're in the grind. When
mm.
we're in those type situations, when we're getting closer to game day. I need them practices. I need to know where people's heads are. We got to start. I'm ready to play when it matters. I need to see us at 3-0 going into a 8 o'clock game in Bryant Denny Stadium and where our heads are. Where our focus is with that.
Hey, that's
We got a lot. We got a lot on our plates. That's how I look at it. We got a lot on our plates.
we do, and there's a lot of stuff to get to in a short time. But South Carolina, hey man, they're gonna do it. They've got a great returning squad. They brought so many leaders back this year. I mean, there's just so many things that are trending right for South Carolina compared
Mm-hmm.
to. And Q, you and I talked about last year going into the season. We thought there were a lot of, I'd say, quite questionable moves, but misses in the offseason. Portal and also some other things too. Obviously, having to take it to the clock at midnight for your potential RB1 to know more about him, which
I'm
there's a
glad we don't
lot
have
of.
to do that this year. I'm so
Yeah,
glad we don't have to
exactly.
this year.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to worry about that. Q, before we do wrap this thing up, a lot of people are asking about the DBs, the new freshman DBs, as Shane Beamer hinted on our show that the freshmen are going to get significant playing time this year in the secondary, and that brings in Koski Barnes, our boy Xavier Currents, and then of course Tristan Lewis, our guy Tristan Lewis. And a lot of people are asking, how tall are these guys? What are their size? What are their frames?
None of them are under 6'2". None of them. Koski 6'2", Tristan 6'4", Xavier 6'4". They're athletic. They have speed on them. They're lengthy. There's a reason why they're all pushing for time. Let me be very upfront about that. There is a reason why they're all pushing for time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why every single one of them are pushing for time. So that's why I feel so confident, because there's a lot of comp in that practices. There's a lot of talent on that field. A lot.
There is.
So now you get to see what's up.
And we heard about it all off season from the guys, and we're excited as as fall camp gets going, man, and learning more about what's going on and things that are happening, behind the scenes, and what's happening on the field, because we've seen the film on Koski Barnes, right?
We've seen it, bro.
We've seen the film on Kurtz.
We've seen the film.
We've seen the film on Tristan.
Tristan beat Dorman by himself. Like, I don't think y'all understand the mentality that's in that room now. I really don't think y'all get them. It's
different.
It's not. You'll see.
You've got two South Carolina homegrown boys right there, and then of course you got Koski right out there at North Carolina. So, I mean, look,
they all play at the highest level. I mean, you'll see. That's all I got for you. You'll see.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah, there it is. So I'll tell them right now, man. And it's funny, the national media that have been hard on South Carolina. There's one in particular that is very interesting, Q, to me. And normally I would give him the time of day, and Gamecock Twitter hates the guy, and rightfully so. Some of the things he said over the years are pretty wild, but I don't know if he's drinking the Gamecock Kool-Aid, or maybe he's watching ball. He's watching film somewhere. But Brandon Walker, Q, have you seen the things that he's been saying about South Carolina? I'm actually shocked.
I'm actually shocked, bro. I think what it is with this year, I'm telling y'all, because some of it's starting to happen already. Some people are starting to change their tune just a little bit, because they're starting to see, okay, maybe they are a little different than what I thought was actually going on. So I'm gonna be 110% transparent. I don't care if you change your tune 2 seconds before kickoff. I'm still coming for you. I'm still coming for you. I'm still coming for y'all. That's not gonna stop. Y'all called for my coach head. I'm still coming for you. It's not gonna change the game of what I'm gonna do. You guys just are taking stabs at stuff because you just don't know. Because this is where everything is coming from. I promise y'all, this is where it's coming from. No one got to see spring. Well, let me be very clear, because I'm not talking about me. National media did not get to see spring game. National media does not know what's in that locker room. National media has tried to figure out what Shane Beamer has going on. And now that they don't know, and we've approached the season, now it's kind of like, well, we're just going to go off what could get us clicks. Okay. But when it goes opposite of that, don't act like you were just, well, no one knew this was going to happen. I told you the whole time. I told you it was going to happen the whole time. So I'm not hearing any excuses. Don't get on Twitter crying. Don't get on there talking about I was a believer. You know who you are. You change your tune every single year. You're always a believer when all of a sudden we're winning. Like, nobody wants to hear your voice no more, bro. Like, I don't know why Gamecock Twitter gives them the time of day. I personally don't know why they give them the time of day, but I'm over it. All I'm saying is y'all going to have to learn. I think the hard way y'all going to end up learning.
I'm going to be honest. Brandon Walker and I have had our share of rundowns.
He blocked me. By the way, shout out to Brandon for blocking me, and I didn't even know he blocked me. Like, I literally, like, he said something, I was like, wait, he was talking about us? I click his profile, he's blocked me. I was like, how did I get blocked? But you know what? Shout out to Gamecock Will. That's probably how we got blocked. because of what he did. Shout out to Gamecock Will for what he did. That's probably why I'm blocked. So there's that.
Yeah, I made a comment that I said Brandon Walker is better at blocking than his Mississippi State offensive line is. And he thought he thought it was good. Thought it was a good one because we all know that's going to be an absolute atrocity this year. At least they should be. But and another thing, David Pollock, which we all obviously hate David Pollock for the for that one play, right? But as far as a ball knower and a guy that has really he calls it how it is, man. And David Pollock's big on South Carolina this year, and
Good.
he's really always been a Beamer guy. Honestly, I can't say
Yeah,
that he
he
hasn't.
is. He has. He
Can't say
has.
that he
So,
hasn't.
like I said, guys, practice starts tomorrow. That means it's time. So let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Q, before we do end the show, real quick, we need obviously to talk about this. Long assistant coach for the University of South Carolina, Jim Toman,
Yeah.
unfortunately passed away the other day after a battle with the C word, and obviously that word is hurting us and in more ways than one right now
Correct.
across all over the place, man. There are former Gamecock athletes that are battling this right now. There's a former basketball player that's battling this right now as well, and a Frank Martin guy. And it's a tough time right now. It's really tough. But I did want to read what Coach Tanner did say to Jim or about Jim, and I just want to put this out there. He said, Jim, what a great ride we shared. I coached you at NC State. You became a team captain. I knew you were destined for great things. You joined me in the dugout out at State. And when we made the move to Columbia, I knew Gamecock baseball needed you here with me. We spent 11 years together at Sarge Fry Field. We won a lot. We carried on the proud tradition of Gamecock baseball. I always knew how deeply you cared about our program. Gamecock Nation saw the passion and fire competitiveness that our team witnessed every single day. Together, we build on the foundation, even though you weren't in the dugout when it happened. We don't win back to back national titles without you. You helped build what became a championship program. Your vigor, intensity, and enthusiasm for Gamecock baseball are unmistakable, and everyone who knew you saw it, which I can say over the years of Sarge Fry and where they were, man,
It's a
you
fact.
just knew Jim Toman.
It's a fact.
He goes on and says, you went on to become a successful head coach and a coach of the year. To me, you were my coach of the year every year. We shared a special bond through team travel, recruiting trips, practices, and the long conversations afterward where we talked about baseball, our dreams, and life. We are all indebted to you for the impact you made in our lives, players, coaches, staff, and fans alike. Your health struggles over the past year may have taken away your ability to pursue your passion for baseball and life as you once did. For those of us who truly knew you, know where your heart always was and always will be. We will miss you, Jim, but we will never forget you. Rest in peace, my friend.
It's a fact, bro. Dude was a goat. Dude was a goat. If you truly followed baseball in Carolina, you knew about Jim, and he was a goat, bro. Um, my sympathy and my prayers to his family.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen him, he was nice to me, so I appreciate him. He never met a stranger, honestly. He never met a stranger. He always talked to you, good and bad. I don't even know if he
Mhm.
had a bad day, bro. Like you could never tell because he was so upbeat, so happy. So a legend. We lost a legend. We lost a legend, bro. And I hope Kevin does some serious in memories of him this year, like because he deserves it, man.
I will 100% see opening day. They're going to honor Jim Toman in some kind of way. I mean,
I agree.
he left a print with Gamecock baseball into it. I mean, they really would not have won probably those titles without him. I mean, it's just
Nah,
well, the impact he had on the program is real.
it's a
And
fact.
I recall those days of Sarge Fry, and it's just it's sad, man. Obviously, we all have an expiration date, but you just for things like that to happen the way they do. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
not. We just don't understand it sometimes, man.
it's a fact.
Just don't understand it. So keep Coach Toman's family, friends, everybody, players, former staff, everybody in your thoughts, prayers. I just it was a sad day. It was a sad day when that news came across as Jim Toman passed away. So, oh boy. But Q, you got anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
Nah, just like I said, we always keep it grind going, guys. Ball is here. Ball is here.
Yeah, ball's here. Thankfully, ball is here. So
yeah, I was tired of talking. I was tired of the talking season. I hate it. Talking season freaking sucks. Always having to argue with people. Freaking Mississippi State fans think they're on the same level as us. Like I'm ready for football at this point, bro. I'm beyond sick. I'm beyond disgusted with talking season.
It's the funniest thing. I don't know true Mississippi State fans outside of Brandon Walker when it comes to football. I just know baseball fans from what I can that I know.
Their football fans are 20 times worse, bro. It's the worst thing ever.
It can't be great when you gotta ring a cowbell 3 hours for a whole game, which is
and then
hard pass.
It's just so
hard pass. Well, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in to the Welcome On Podcast live on YouTube, X, Facebook, all those good places there. Appreciate y'all tuning into the Welcome On Podcast, first voice of the South Carolina Gamecocks on the Believe Network. Guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace.